going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you my review of Pokemon Horizons Episode 18, Flying Pikachu to the Skies. Before I go any further, please reach high and hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more Pokemon Horizons reviews just like this one. I'm just going. You already saw spoilers in the title. This is the best episode of this part. I wonder if this is actually the true ending of like a chapter here, because we do get the opening song for the ending. No opener, no Pokemon seminar, because this is the story of how Freed and Captain Pikachu met. Now, how does this all begin here, right? Because I have so much to talk about. I might be all over the place, right? Because we get several people's backstories. We get so much context, and I love it. This is, I kind of wonder why Pokemon Horizons isn't about Freed and Captain Pikachu. I get that. I guess it has to relate to the younger folks, but man, we get the reason, the name for the show. We get the explanations of so much. It's why Cap is called Cap. This is best episode so far, right? Well, set up, obviously, Roy and Liko remember seeing Captain Pikachu fly. Dot's skeptical, but Dot is interested in knowing what's going on, just like they are. It's very cute, but Dot is not going to go out there. She thinks that's a pain, so she's sending her Rotom phone out there with a ring light to record and capture all this. I do find it kind of cute that when we do get the flashback, Freed doesn't have a Rotom phone. He has a normal smartphone. Okay, then. That's how old he is. Makes you wonder how old Liko's mom is, because Liko's mom, Luca, was his teacher. She's not just a teacher, she was his teacher. As a matter of fact, he had quit his job working at a research company. How old is Freed? He looks like he's always had the white hair, right? How old are you, bro? Like, legitimately, how old is he? How old is Liko's mom? Pokemon ages are weird. Look at Lusamine. Lusamine is actually in her early 40s, and in the Sun and Moon games. I don't know if she's the same in the anime, but she's actually in her 40s. Then you have someone like Cyrus. I think Cyrus was like 31. He looks super old, whereas Cynthia is like 22, I think. So it's really weird how ages work in Pokemon. You can never tell, right? I would assume the average life expectancy in Pokemon is like 200 years old. Just my guess. Now, initially, Freed brushed them off. Didn't really want to tell it. He's like, Cap is Cap, and that's all that's mad. And I'm like, Cap on that Cap about Cap being Cap. Stop it. So when they try to ask other folks, they finally get to Landau and Orla, because Landau's like, yeah, no, when he met him, this a brand new beginning happened, and Liko's able to go, oh, so that's how Voltaggers happened. Then Orla's like, first of all, is her name Oreo or Orio, or is it Orla? Probably Orla for English. I'm gonna go with that for right now. She knows the story. And so, in order to force Freed into telling it, she does all calls saying, in the meeting room, everybody, we're going to hear about how Freed and Captain Pikachu met. And he's all embarrassed. Everybody wants to hear. We get several Pokemon puns like Shibarudon, Electros, Reggie Eyes. I think one was supposed to be for Dreg. I can't remember the name of Chudo's evolution, but I think there was a joke there. There's another one that flew over my head because I don't know all the Japanese names for Pokemon, but tons of Pokemon puns. And what we do get initially from Orla, before we get to the full backstory from Freed himself, I think it's Orla, Freed, I want to say Landau too, but Orla and Freed are both from the Kanto region. And she moved away to Hoenn. Okay. Kind of reminds you of the third game, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Kind of reminds you of that, doesn't it? But they're both from Kanto. Liko's family, at least her mom and dad, are originally from Kanto. Liko's mom ended up moving to Paldea after she got married and had her baby, right? Now, at this point in the story, Freed quit the researching job, right? and was kind of just living his days free. But him and Charizard both felt disgruntled. I find it Charizard was amazing and cute this entire episode. Like Charizard's kind of grumbling a bit when it's too early in the morning, just like Freed was grumbling. He pets the Charizard on the head. I love that when they go to meet Luca at the ramen place in Paldea. By the way, did you all who played the game, did you see Larry? Larry sits in that same spot every universe. Larry's the best gym leader. Larry's best Elite Four. Period. I love Larry. Most One of the most relatable characters in Pokemon. Period. But you see Larry, you see Cooking Lady there. That was enough for me. But what I liked a lot was subtle details. I've been preaching that since episode 1 of this series. When Luca's talking, Charizard's looking at Luca. Then his eyes transition to looking at Freed when Freed speaks, and he looks back. That is pretty natural when you're sitting at a table and two parties are talking. You tend to look between them if you're not looking down at something else. I love it. The boy was cute. He was cute in this episode, especially being Freed's hype man. I'm just gonna get all my Charizard moments out the way now. It was Freed's hype man when he was interacting with Captain Pikachu, right? Charizard was like, "Yeah, you basically going, yeah, you can do it." When they're trying to feed Cap, you see him eat the berries that he got. When when they finally solidified their partnership and he captured Captain Pikachu, yes, Ash, Captain Pikachu can get in the Pokeball. Charizard was right there, just hyped, and I would love to see when Charizard was a Charmander. I want to see what that relationship was like. But yes, Luca wonders why Freed doesn't, stop researching, and he's like, "I'm a genius Pokemon first. I know everything there is about Pokemon, just period." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. So this is where we're going with this, with you, with the character." And he's just enjoying his freedom, is what he says. And she's like, "Well, what about researching for fun? All right, fine. Meet me tomorrow morning." They meet early, and he's there, sees the Pikachu. I love that Charizard is the one that yells at him to get up because he's laying on the rock. He's like, "I know everything is about Pikachu, what they do, what they eat, what their moves are." She tells him, Shizuka, I mean, quiet, be quiet a little bit. Because the Captain Pikachu, before he got the name Cap, was sort of, I guess, becoming a legend in the parts. In Paldea, does a vote tackle in a circle, makes a tornado, rides the tornado, and uses his tail to come all the way back down. And Free's never seen anything like that before, so instantly starts researching it. Tries to get closer to Pikachu, asking Pikachu if he can research him. He's met with tackles. Pikachu's ultimately skeptical of him. It's funny to get Luca going and spraying its tail to make him heal, because it scrapes on him. Tries to bribe him with food. Again, they've been doing it so long that he's used to the tackles to the stomach and the forehead. And at this point, where he shocks him, he's like, "I can't defend against that," right? And he speaks on the phone with Luca. I find it very funny. There's a baby Liko there, a little tiny little Liko. Who's like, "Who's that?" That's a boy with a very promising future, right? He thanks her essentially for showing him and introducing him to Pikachu, because now he realizes there's much more for him to learn about Pokemon. And he's much more fired up, and she's glad. She's glad that things are working out for him. And he even deduced how Cap does it. Does the Voltacker in Japanese, and does the vortex. He uses his springy tail because earlier we see when Pikachu was hungry, he was doing squats with his tail. And when he tried to chase Pikachu, Pikachu was very light on its feet and very light, period. So he uses that tail, springs into the air, riding the vortex to the top. He's up at the top, and he only does this once a day at dawn. Doesn't use it to fight other Pokemon because you get Star Ravias around him. Cap just like, "I'm just gonna go over here. I'm not about to fight you guys," even though you could. If it was Ash's Pikachu, he would have thunderbolted. We all know that. Cap seems a bit more mature, a gentleman. And so as he's researching, the thing that is getting to Freed, which I love the name. I love that his name is Freed, and he cares about his freedom, but he's trying to find the thing that he wants. Because even Landau, earlier on before he met with Luca, was telling him, "You're too young to just spend your time like this." Which again, I don't know how old he is, because he does the anime thing of reaching up at the sky and just, there's really nothing else for me to do. I just want to be free and enjoy my time, but I need something that grips me, which is pretty much very relatable. Very, very relatable. Also, funny thing, they both were finishing. Landau caught a bare scooter, threw it back. Free caught a slow bro. Very funny, given that he's lazing about. I love it. You should have caught it. I digress. He wonders why why the Pikachu at this moment. Pikachu keeps doing it, right? It's getting hurt from the Volt tackle. You see Pikachu licking his wounds, and it just like the fact that it had to have taken it so many tries to even perfect this thing and even do it. Why does he do it? Why does he continue? And he says, "I'm." It's riled him up, not as a just as a researcher, but as a Pokemon trainer, and he gets fed up. He's like, "I give up." A Charizard, and I love Charizard. Just like grumbles a bit when he says he gives up. They both, when Captain Pikachu does it this time, they follow him up. And when they get up there, he realizes Pikachu's up there to watch the sun rise and watch the new horizon. The new horizon. Pokemon Horizons. The new horizons. Captain Pikachu is the reason for the show. So, to watch the new horizon. Now, Pikachu usually uses his tail to get down gently, while him and Freed are sharing thumbs ups, much like that right there. Boop, can't say it's too bright, but much like that right there. Unfortunately, Pikachu forgot. Freed and Charizard go down to pick him up, make sure he doesn't, die from falling. And Freed says, "You know what? You've inspired me. Come and see the world with me." They shake tail to hand, captures him in a Pokeball, better than you, Ash, and goes to Landau. Landau's like, you had a good chance encounter. Entrust your boat to me. It was called the Asagi. Looks very much different than it does now. Went to Orla, who looks like she works as a welder. I think that's funny that Orla works as a welder, and one of the best Pokemon cards about 5 or 7 years ago was Welder, and Welder is actually a female character in the cards too. I think that's funny, but he's like, "Can you make this a ship that flies?" She's like, "All right, cool. I'll make a ship that flies," and she does it. Wants to be paid, and he's like, "I'll pay you back bit by bit. Now you're gonna take me with you." She's been bored with her job anyway, and she takes off her hat, unzips the suit. "All right, Pokemon, you know what you're doing." So I'm gonna say, "You know what you're doing." And her partner was, well, at the time it wasn't Metagross, it was Metang, but her Cap Pikachu, who, when she asks, "Is Free's gonna be the captain of that ship?" No, Pikachu's gonna be captain of the ship, because Pikachu's the one that has inspired this entire journey. Pikachu is the one who made him want to reach new horizons and go and see the world, and not just sit here and say he can see the world, but actually go and do it. He once made him realize, I don't know everything there is about Pokemon. He wants to study the strange phenomenon of the strange creature called Pokemon. Um, so it gives him a little cute little captain's hat. He is now Cap. One thing I do like to note about Captain Pikachu, another way to differentiate him from the Pikachu that we've known in the past, aside from the hat, is he always has serious eyebrow. So if he's concerned, he always looks either concerned or angry, happy or angry, but he's a serious character with the arm cross. It's adorable. I really hope they distribute a Captain Pikachu out in mystery gift for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Yes, but I digress. Those four, him, Captain Pikachu, Orla, and Landau, are the first ones. I also want to know Landau's connection with Quaxley, because when they went to, I don't want to say interrogate, but question Landau, about how Freed met Captain Pikachu. Quaxley so easily sat beside him to the point I thought they were actually partners in the very beginning of the series, right? So, but I digress. That is how they met. Everyone's clapping, and Liko isn't clapping. He's like, "You're very surprised, huh? My mom was your teacher." That's the only thing that she heard. On top of the fact that everyone else was like, "Yeah, we didn't know that either," because he doesn't tell these details and forgets to. But there you go. And so all of the young trainers are inspired. They're not going to share the video. They're going to keep it for themselves. But because Free was embarrassed to be in front of the camera anyway. But Roy is even more inspired to get closer to Foy Coco because of how close Freed is to Pikachu. Let's not forget now, Freed, this was your boy first. All right, don't you forget about Charizard. Cool as hell, Charizard. He's the real true wingman. But Liko's reason for being on the ship here, she said, I already told you. Think about it. Liko's mom, Luca, inspired Freed to go meet Captain Pikachu. Captain Pikachu inspired Freed to start the Rising Volt Techers, which Rising Volt Tacklers, because he even said we all now Rising Volt Tackles like you. So that's where the name comes from. Oh yeah. Calls the ship the Brave Asagi in English because they're gonna go to Brave New Worlds. I'm paraphrasing that, which is funny, but inspired him to make them. Meeting Murdoch, Molly. I think those are only two extras from the story, if I'm right. Meet them, and then Liko met everyone else. So she can't wait to talk to her mom about Sprigatito, which, if your mom was a better mom, she would have actually tried to see you before you all left before. But I digress. I won't go there. Pokemon parents seem to suck. And this is her journey. By the way, I thought I mentioned it earlier. I did say it earlier about the intro being played for the outro, like being played at the end. It was very nice to hear that song. The song has grown on me, especially with I think it was Free talking to Pikachu and it just going into the kids and everything. Very nice. And they have finally actually reached the Galar region, so cannot wait to see how long it takes them to meet Liko's grandma. So if it's Liko, Luca, it's gonna be Laka or Lako or Lika. No, yeah, Lika. Likoka. I'm interested in knowing what her grandmother's name is, since they all have that blue hair. Also, man, you were that young that you don't remember Freed when he was slightly younger. How old are you? All in all, this gets a 5 out of 5 for me. We know why they're called the Rising Voltackers. And who cares about the name of the ship, right? But we know why Cat Pikachu's Cat Pikachu. We got the name of the series. We got all them good Charizard bits that I told y'all about. All of this is so good. This is literally one of the best flashback episodes I've ever seen. Not contrite, doesn't overstay its welcome, very gripping. I like that since it was a flashback instead of full screen, it gives us the, you know, movie dimensions. Usually movie dimensions used in Japanese theaters, like, oh, especially old. You guys remember those old wide screens from when you played DVDs? Oh, I'm really taking myself there, but yeah, those bars. I liked that whole look too. My favorite episodes thus far. Period. Period. My favorite episode so far. Please let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? Was there anything that you really liked in particular about this episode? Leave in the comments down below. Pokemon Horizons, you are definitely a true worthy success. I can't wait till we get to episode 20, because then maybe I'll do a separate video talking about how far or how great this is so far. Maybe, I don't know. I'm talking about it now. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more videos like this one, especially on Pokemon Horizon. Love this series. Just this episode. This episode is just great. So remember, be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. All right. Realize that you are not alone in this world, that there are people out there that care about you. Reach out and talk to someone if you're feeling down, if you're feeling out, you think there's no way out. Trust me, there is hope, and there's people out there who would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. All right. My social medias are right there right there in the description. You can follow me, send me a message. Don't be a jerk about it, and I will more than likely get back to you. There is a 99.99% chance I will respond. All right. All right. Until next time, guys, I will catch you later.